On a distant planet called Virex, the alien empire ruled with great power. The empire had many worlds under its control and believed it was invincible. They had never faced a threat they could not handle, until now. One day, a brilliant scientist named Zarn noticed something unusual. He was in his lab, studying energy patterns in the galaxy, when he saw a strange surge coming from a tiny blue planet called Earth. Zarn squinted at the screen, trying to understand what he was seeing. The energy from Earth's sun was growing stronger every day. "This cannot be," Zarn muttered to himself. "What are those humans doing?" He quickly called an emergency meeting with the Empire's leaders. The dark room was filled with tension as Zarn explained his findings. "The humans are using their sun in ways we never imagined. They are harnessing its energy to create something powerful." The leaders listened, but they were skeptical. "Humans are weak," said Commander Grix, a muscular alien with sharp features. "They can't possibly threaten us. We are the strongest force in the galaxy." Zarn shook his head. "We cannot underestimate them. They are resourceful. If they have figured out how to use the sun, they might create a weapon capable of destroying us." The leaders grumbled among themselves. Some thought Zarn was exaggerating, while others agreed that they needed to be cautious. In the end, they decided to send a team of spies to Earth to gather more information. They needed to know the truth before making any decisions. Meanwhile, on Earth, things were not easy for the scientists. A major energy crisis was threatening the planet. They were running out of fossil fuels and struggling to find new sources of energy. In a small lab in California, a group of scientists led by Dr. Emily Carter was brainstorming ideas. They were worried, but they knew they had to find a solution. One day, Emily had a bright idea. "What if we could use the sun's energy more effectively? We could create a solar weapon that could help us defend ourselves." Her team was excited. They immediately began working on the project. They knew they had to act fast before it was too late. They poured all their efforts into research, hoping to create something that could change the game. As the days passed, Zarn and his team of spies arrived on Earth. They disguised themselves as humans, trying to blend in with the crowded cities. Their mission was to learn what humans were planning and report back to the Empire. Zarn found it strange to walk among humans. He watched them going about their lives, oblivious to the fact that their world was on the brink of a crisis. He observed their technology and noted how they were working tirelessly in labs, trying to solve their energy problems. The spies spent weeks gathering information. They discovered that humans were close to finishing their solar weapon. Zarn felt a mix of fear and admiration for the humans. They were clever and determined, and he realized that underestimating them could be a grave mistake. Back on Virex, the Empire leaders were growing impatient. They demanded updates from Zarn. He explained that the humans were making progress. "They are close to creating something that could change the balance of power," he warned. Commander Grix slammed his fist on the table. "We cannot allow this to happen. We must act before they are ready. We cannot show weakness." Zarn knew that the Empire was used to ruling with an iron fist, but he also understood that this time they were dealing with a species capable of extraordinary things. He hoped the Empire would listen to him and prepare for the worst. As the sun set on Earth, Zarn looked up at the sky. The bright star shone down, unaware of the chaos brewing between two worlds. Little did the humans know that their efforts to harness the sun would soon attract the attention of a powerful enemy. The stage was set for a confrontation that would change the fate of both worlds forever. Back on Earth, the atmosphere was tense. Dr. Emily Carter and her team worked day and night to complete the solar weapon. They knew they were racing against time. Rumors of a possible alien threat had spread, and the scientists were aware that the future of humanity depended on their success. In a well-lit lab filled with buzzing machines and glowing screens, Emily gathered her team. "We need to push harder. The spies from the alien empire are watching us, and we must finish this weapon before they attack," she said, her voice firm and determined. The team nodded, motivated by her words. They divided tasks and focused on their strengths. Some worked on the weapon's design, while others researched how to harness solar energy more efficiently. They were all aware that their project was not just about energy, but about survival. Meanwhile, on Virex, the alien empire was also busy. Commander Grix was growing impatient. The spies had reported that humans were close to completing their weapon. "We cannot allow this to happen," he said during a meeting with the Empire's leaders. "We must attack before they are ready. We cannot show any weakness." Zarn, the scientist who had warned them about the humans, spoke up. "We should gather more intelligence first. If we attack too soon, we might fail. These humans are clever and we cannot underestimate them." Grix glared at Zarn. "You have already made excuses."
We need to act now.
The tension in the room was thick, and Zarn could feel the pressure mounting. Back on Earth, the scientists faced their own challenges. They struggled with equipment failures and unexpected problems. One day, as they tested the energy harnessing system, a loud bang echoed through the lab. Smoke filled the air and alarms blared. The team rushed to the source of the noise. "Is everyone okay?" Emily shouted as she waved away the smoke. Her heart raced, but she knew they had to stay calm. "We're fine, but the system is damaged," one of the engineers said, looking worried. "We need more time to fix it." Emily took a deep breath. "We don't have time. We must find a way to make it work. If we don't, we'll never finish the weapon." Determined, she gathered her team. "We've faced challenges before. This is just another obstacle. We need to work together and think outside the box." Her words inspired the team, and they set to work, brainstorming new ideas to overcome the setback. As the days passed, the tension grew on both sides. The aliens prepared their fleet for war, while the humans raced against time to complete their weapon. Zarn continued to gather information about Earth, amazed at how determined the humans were. He had not expected them to be so resilient. One evening, as Zarn watched the humans from a hidden location, he noticed something unusual. A group of soldiers was training near the lab. They practiced combat moves and strategies, preparing for any potential attack. Zarn felt a strange mix of fear and respect. These humans were ready to fight for their lives. Back on Virex, the Empire's leaders were finalizing their plans for the invasion. "We will strike at dawn," Grix announced, a sinister smile on his face. "We will show them who is in charge." Zarn could not shake the feeling that this was a mistake. He knew the humans were capable of incredible things, and he feared for his empire. But he kept quiet, not wanting to challenge the commander again. On Earth, Emily's team finally made a breakthrough. After long hours of work, they managed to repair the system and improve its efficiency. They were closer than ever to completing the weapon. "We can do this," Emily said, her eyes shining with hope. "We just need to stay focused and work together." Her team rallied around her, filled with renewed energy and determination. As the sun set over the horizon, both sides were preparing for battle. The humans were ready to defend their home, while the aliens were determined to conquer it. Little did they know, the upcoming confrontation would change the fate of both worlds forever. As dawn broke over Earth, the atmosphere buzzed with anticipation. Dr. Emily Carter and her team stood in their lab, staring at the newly completed solar weapon. After weeks of hard work and late nights, they had finally created a powerful machine capable of harnessing the sun's energy like never before. "Today is the day," Emily declared, her heart racing with excitement. "We need to test it and ensure everything works perfectly. We cannot afford any mistakes." The team gathered around the weapon, a large device with glowing panels and intricate controls. Each member felt the weight of responsibility on their shoulders. They knew that this machine could be their only chance to protect Earth from the alien invasion. "Let's run the final tests," said Sam, the lead engineer. He pressed a few buttons on the control panel, and the weapon hummed to life. Lights flickered, and a low hum filled the room as energy coursed through the device. Emily watched with bated breath as Sam monitored the readings. "Everything looks good so far," he said, a smile creeping onto his face. "We're ready for the final test." "Let's do it!" Emily said, her excitement bubbling over. The team worked together, each member focused on their specific task. As they began the countdown for the test, a sense of unity filled the room. 3, 2, 1. "Activate," Emily shouted. In an instant, the weapon unleashed a brilliant beam of energy toward the sky. It shot upward, a dazzling display of light that caught the attention of everyone nearby. The team watched in awe as the beam connected with the sun, creating a shimmering wave of energy. "It worked! We did it!" Emily cheered, pumping her fist in the air. The team erupted into celebration, high-fiving and hugging each other. They had created something incredible, something that could change the course of their fight against the alien empire. But their joy was short-lived. Zarn, the alien scientist who had been spying on them, was watching from a hidden location. His eyes widened in disbelief as he witnessed the power of the solar weapon. He quickly relayed the information back to Commander Grix. "Commander, the humans have completed their weapon. Zarn reported, a hint of urgency in his voice. "They have harnessed the energy of the sun. We must act now before it is too late." Grix frowned, his expression hardening. "Prepare the fleet for an immediate attack. We will not allow them to use that weapon against us." Meanwhile, on Earth, Emily and her team continued to test the solar weapon, unaware of the impending danger. They were thrilled with their progress and felt confident that they could defend their planet. "We need to make sure we have enough power for a full-scale operation," Emily said. "Let's see how long it can sustain the energy output." The team worked tirelessly, pushing the weapon to its limits. They wanted to ensure that it could withstand the alien forces that were surely on their way. Every test brought new discoveries, and they made adjustments to enhance the weapon's efficiency. As night fell, the sky turned dark and the stars began to twinkle above. But the team's spirits remained high. They had done what seemed impossible, and now they felt ready for whatever came next. Suddenly, the lab's alarm blared, piercing through the celebration. Red lights flashed and a voice crackled over the intercom. "Warning, incoming alien ships detected. Prepare for defense." Panic filled the room as the team scrambled to their stations. Emily took a deep breath, trying to steady her racing heart. "Everyone, stay focused. We've trained for this. We can do it." The team rushed to the control panels, ready to operate the solar weapon. Emily glanced at the monitors, where a fleet of alien ships appeared on the screen, approaching Earth at high speed. Their sleek designs and glowing lights sent shivers down her spine. "Here they come," she said, her voice steady but full of determination. "Let's show them what we've got." The team worked in unison, activating the solar weapon and aiming it at the incoming fleet. Emily's heart raced as she realized they were finally going to put their creation to the test in a real battle. As the alien ships drew closer, Emily felt a surge of hope. They had worked hard for this moment, and they were ready to defend their home. The fate of Earth now rested in their hands. With a deep breath, she gave the order. "Fire the weapon!" The solar weapon blazed to life, aiming for the alien fleet. In that moment, the battle for Earth had begun. As the solar weapon fired its brilliant beam of energy, a wave of hope surged through Dr. Emily Carter and her team. They watched as the powerful ray shot toward the alien fleet, illuminating the dark sky. The moment felt surreal. They were finally fighting back against the invading forces. The beam struck the nearest alien ship with a blinding flash. A loud explosion echoed in the air, and the ship disintegrated into a shower of sparks and debris. Cheers erupted in the lab as the team celebrated their first victory. "Did you see that? We did it!" Sam shouted, his voice filled with excitement. The others joined in, high-fiving and patting each other on the back. But Emily quickly reminded them that their work was far from over. "Stay focused, everyone! This is just the beginning," she said, pointing to the monitors. More alien ships were pouring into the atmosphere, their sleek forms gliding through the darkness. "We need to keep firing." In the control room, the team shifted into high gear, adjusting the weapon's aim and energy output. Emily felt the adrenaline pumping through her veins. They had prepared for this moment, and she was determined not to let fear take over. Meanwhile, on the alien ships, Commander Grix watched in disbelief as his fleet suffered heavy losses. "What is happening? These humans are stronger than we thought," he exclaimed, his anger boiling over. He had underestimated them, and now they were fighting back with everything they had. Zarn stood beside him, observing the chaos. "Commander, we need to regroup and come up with a new strategy. Their weapon is powerful, and they are using it effectively." Grix clenched his fists, frustration evident on his face. "No! We cannot retreat now. We must press on and crush these humans before they gain more power. Prepare the boarding pods! We will take the fight to them!" Back on Earth, the humans were relentless. Emily shouted orders as they continued to fire the solar weapon, targeting the alien ships one by one. The lab filled with cheers and shouts as they destroyed ship after ship. Each explosion fueled their determination. But just as they began to feel confident, a new wave of alien ships broke through the clouds. "Look! They're sending boarding pods!" one of the team members yelled, pointing at the screens. Small ships detached from the larger ones heading straight for Earth. "They're trying to invade!" Emily shouted. "We need to defend ourselves. Activate the defense systems and get the ground forces ready." The team quickly switched gears, monitoring the incoming pods. Outside, the sound of sirens filled the air as the military prepared to defend the base. Soldiers rushed to their positions, ready to confront the alien invaders. As the boarding pods landed, the aliens poured out, armed and ready for battle. They were met with human soldiers who had trained for this moment. The air filled with the sounds of gunfire and explosions as both sides clashed fiercely. Emily's heart raced as she watched the battle unfold on the monitors. "We can't let them gain any ground! Fire the weapon again," she ordered. The solar weapon blazed to life once more, targeting the alien forces on the ground. The beam struck, creating a massive explosion that sent debris flying everywhere. The humans cheered as they saw the aliens falter. But the fight was far from over. The aliens regrouped and advanced, their numbers still overwhelming. Commander Grix pushed forward, determined to capture the humans and their weapon. As chaos unfolded, Emily knew they needed a plan. "We can't just rely on the weapon. We need to support our soldiers on the ground," she said urgently. "Let's create a diversion and lure the aliens away from the main base." Sam and the team quickly devised a strategy. They would use the solar weapon to create a series of targeted explosions, drawing the alien forces to a different location. "This could give our soldiers a chance to regroup and counterattack," Sam suggested. "Do it!" Emily commanded. "Let's give them a fighting chance!" With each explosion, they created confusion among the alien ranks. Soldiers on the ground took advantage of the distraction and fought back with renewed strength. The humans pressed forward, pushing the aliens back. The tide of the battle began to turn. As the solar weapon continued to blaze, the humans realized that they had the power to defend their planet. They were no longer just trying to survive, they were fighting for their freedom. As the sun began to rise over the battlefield, Emily felt a surge of hope. They were standing strong against an overwhelming enemy. Humanity was not going to back down. They would fight until the very end, united against the alien threat. As the sun rose higher in the sky, casting a warm light over the battlefield, the sound of gunfire began to fade. The air was thick with smoke and dust, and the cries of the wounded echoed all around. Dr. Emily Carter stood in the control room, her heart pounding. They had fought hard, but the battle was far from over. "Status report," Emily shouted, turning to her team. They were exhausted, but determined to keep going. "Many alien ships are down, but they are still coming," Sam replied, his voice strained. "Our ground forces are holding their ground, but we need to find a way to end this." Emily knew they could not keep fighting forever. She had seen too much destruction and too many lives lost. "We need to reach out to them," she said, her mind racing. "If we can create a pause in the fighting, we might have a chance to talk." "Talk?" Sam asked, surprised. "But they are invading us! They want to destroy us!" "I know," Emily replied. "But if we can show them that we can fight back, maybe they will consider a truce. We need to try." With determination, Emily quickly organized a plan. They would send a message to the alien fleet, offering a chance for peace. She hoped that they could appeal to reason, even in the heat of battle. Using the solar weapon as a beacon, they sent out a strong signal. Emily knew it was a risk, but it was a chance they had to take. She carefully crafted a message that expressed their desire to end the violence and find a way to coexist. "Attention, Commander Grix and the forces of the alien empire," Emily began, her voice steady and clear. "We are not your enemies. We fight to protect our home, but we seek peace. We are willing to negotiate. Let us meet and discuss a solution." As the message broadcasted, tension hung in the air. The soldiers on the ground paused, unsure of what would happen next. The alien forces, too, hesitated, caught off guard by the unexpected proposal. In the alien command ship, Commander Grix was furious but intrigued. He had never seen humans fight so fiercely before, nor had he expected them to reach out for peace. "What do they think they can achieve with this message?" he grumbled. "Do they really believe we would listen?" Zarn, the alien scientist, observed Grix closely. "Perhaps we should consider it, Commander. These humans are proving to be more capable than we thought. A truce could allow us to reassess our approach." Grix sighed heavily, torn between his pride and the reality of the situation. "Fine. Let's hear what they have to say. But we must remain vigilant. If they try to trick us, we will respond with force." Back on Earth, Emily and her team anxiously awaited a reply. The minutes felt like hours as they watched the screens, hoping for a response. Finally, the monitors flickered, and a communication from the alien command ship appeared. "Humans," Grix's voice echoed through the control room. "We have received your message. I am willing to meet, but only if you can assure us of your sincerity. We will not tolerate deceit." Emily took a deep breath, feeling the weight of the moment. "We promise to be honest, Commander. Let's meet at a neutral location. We want to find a way to stop the fighting and build a future together." After a moment of silence, Grix replied, "Very well. We will send our representatives to your coordinates. But know this, any sign of betrayal, and we will unleash our full power upon you." As the communication ended, Emily felt a mix of relief and anxiety. They had taken the first step toward peace, but the danger was still present. She gathered her team, explaining the plan to prepare for the meeting. "We must show strength but also goodwill," Emily said. "Let's gather supplies and make sure our defenses are ready. We need to be prepared for anything." The team worked quickly, setting up a meeting area outside the lab. They arranged tables, chairs, and a display of Earth's technology, hoping to impress the aliens while also showing their willingness to cooperate. When the time for the meeting arrived, a hush fell over the base. Soldiers stood at the ready, prepared for any sign of trouble. The humans waited anxiously as they saw the alien ships approaching, gliding silently through the sky. The ships landed softly, and a group of alien representatives stepped out. Grix was at the forefront, his posture commanding and serious. Emily stepped forward, her heart pounding but her resolve strong. "Welcome, Commander Grix," she said, her voice steady. "Thank you for coming. Let's talk about how we can end this war and build a future for both our species." As they began their conversation, the tension in the air shifted. For the first time, both sides were willing to listen. Emily felt a glimmer of hope. Perhaps they could find a way to coexist after all. Perhaps a new chapter in their history was just beginning.